Hello friends, and welcome back to day 12 of our Polar Parrot Fish Fry journey. It's always such a joy to have you here with us. And today is a very special day. The fry are finally swimming freely. Now here's a quick recap of the progress that we have had so far. You had the fry begin their journey with eggs being laid on the first day. Then somehow on days 2 and 3 they started to hatch. We then had wrigglers, and now we have free swimming fry from the last 2 days. Now when you look at this shift from wrigglers to fry, this is a huge milestone for them, because from being something that's just vibrating on the surface of the substrate to life form that is actively swimming, that itself is a huge milestone, and it is an important achievement given the context. They are in the community aquarium where you have other polar parrot fish also. So even though the parents began by showing their inexperience, in the sense by loosely letting the fry to spread around, eventually we can say that they have done a good job. But on the other side, we see that this being the first spawn, the number also is relatively small. We have hardly around 10 fry from this batch. But we see that usually polar parrot fish tend to get better with experience. So therefore in the next spawns we can expect much more fry. Now you see how the fry is kind of scattered around the tank. So they are not concentrated or nested together in one particular place. And this is because the parents are slightly inexperienced, and they have the instinct, but we see that they are yet to learn this kind of technique of herding them back, or maybe even the whole aspect of why you need to herd them back, keep them together. It's not that the parents don't care for them. The only thing here is that they've done the work a bit harder for themselves. So instead of supervising a smaller area, they now have to supervise a larger area, which means they have to be vigilant 24/7. A single lapse in concentration and a fry could be scooped away and eaten as a snack. At the same time, you also realize that these fry are learning to swim against the gentle currents of the aquarium. And this in a way is also strengthening them. So day by day you will see that their swimming will become more confident. Will become more confident. Their swimming will become more confident day by day, and they also will be able to, in a way, move more freely around. They are already doing so, but now it will be a little bit more coordinated, and you will slowly see them forming small groups. That is all part of the learning strategy. We'll see later on they'll also start forming small groups. You will see the hierarchy develop among them, and also you'll notice that there'll be some kind of leaders among the group as well. So that also will develop as each fry develops their own personality, some being extrovert, others kind of introvert. At the same time, you see that parents are also doing something quite incredible. They are learning each and every day, and by now you see they've almost mastered the whole art of parenting. They are nudging, they are guarding, and they are also patrolling the area. So if a fry is going too far, they are nudging them back and telling them, don't go too far, it's dangerous. And it's positive to see that these fry over here are quite cuddled together. So this is quite a positive sign. This wasn't happening on the first few days once they hatched. So they were all over the tank. Today it's quite good to see that all of them are somehow together. This shows that the parents have learned from experience. And obviously we see that though there are challenges being in the aquarium, but still the parents are doing their best to make sure that all the fry are able to survive, and all the fry will in a way make it through the next milestone of being juveniles. And this small size is generally the norm for first time parents. So it's because of their inexperience in taking care of the eggs, because as the eggs need to be provided with good amount of oxygen. So they have to do it by fanning the wings. They have to also make sure that fungus does not grow on the egg. So there's a lot of things that they need to do. Sometimes out of inexperience they also mistakenly eat the eggs. So that's why first time the spawn is quite less, the number of fry is quite less, but with experience the number increases, and we also hope that in the next spawn the number will be great. Now the fry at the moment are eating microscopic organisms in the aquarium, and also we do feed them powdered food. There's another interesting thing that also happens. The parents would grab the pellets that we put for them, crush them and spit it near the fry, and this is where we see that the fry also then are able to get some external nutrition. Now we see that their swim bladders are developing, and this is giving them better balance. A few days back you saw them kind of darting, stopping and then sinking, but today they are able to maintain balance. They are able to swim more confidently, and over the next few days they'll become stronger swimmers and may begin to recognize feeding times. That means they'll become active, super active during those times, darting around and looking for those tiny particles. So that is also something to watch out for. Currently now they are less than the size of a grain, but within a few days time their size will increase. So at this stage, what can you as an aquarist do to support the fry? Well, there's not much, but even the little that you do can make a difference, and that is keeping stable water conditions. So frequent water changes, but not too much, just to make sure that you don't affect the temperature, you don't affect the pH level. You can do your best to keep the water condition stable. That's more than enough. Also frequent feedings. So now as the fry are growing, they need food frequently. So instead of putting everything in one go, try to distribute it over a course of time. And also you can avoid strong filtration, because that way can suck the fry in. So if you have your own setup, do describe what strategies you have used, what food you have been giving, and do you think it is a good idea to separate these fry from the parent? Now, reflecting on this whole scene that we have before us, it reminds us that that growth often comes through tiny but steady steps. So every little swim forward is a victory for this fry. So we are now thinking of taking these fry and putting them in the other breeding tank, where the first pair have already taking care of the fry. So the first pair is there in that breeding tank, they're taking care of the fry. So my whole understanding is that if we gently introduce these fry over there, the other pair may not recognize the difference and will also begin to kind of allow them to grow with their own fry. So do you think that is good? Do let us know in the comments. So thanks for watching, and Do like, share and subscribe to the channel for more updates like this. And obviously do join me for tomorrow's update, because we'll see that these fry will begin to grow with more confidence and explore larger areas of the tank, which will also mean that the parents will have a lot on their hands. So till then, happy fish keeping.